Hey everybody, Kelly Engineering here, and welcome to episode 4 of the Silence Gems Mod Spotlight. In between episodes, what I did was I just created this little room where we're going to do all of our business today. It's still inside the normal, what do we call this, this hole that we created it with the builder. And yeah, we're just going to go through everything inside here, starting with the token enchanter. Yeah, anything that we have not covered in episodes 1 through 3 is going to be covered in this one. It's going to be the last episode of the mod spotlight. Everything after this is going to be updates. Every time that the mod is updated and it adds something or refines something, then I'll release an update episode. But yeah, this will be the last main episode of the Silence Gems mod spotlight. But yeah, without further ado, let's get to it. So we're going to start with the Transmutation Altar, and the Transmutation Altar is 4 Enriched Chaos, 1 Diamond, 1 Glowstone, and 3 Obsidian. What it's used for is pretty simple, as you can see from this interface right here. What it does is it uses a catalyst gone in this bottom slot, and then an ore of a certain type of gem, and it will transmute it, depending on what the catalyst was used, into another equivalent. For instance, let's use amber. So looking at the amber ore, in a Transmutation Altar, if you use a magma cream crystal, which is a nether, obviously it's a nether since it's magma cream, but if you put amber, which is of the classic set, into the altar transmutation, then it will become jasper, which is the dark set equivalent. If you use the ender slime crystal, then you will get the light equivalent, the end equivalent. So yeah, that's all that the altar transmutation is used for, and yeah, just turning ores from one set into their respective sets for light and dark. Or if I was using a dark set, let's type in Jasper. So Jasper ore right here in the altar transmutation. If I was using the overworld slime crystal, then it would become amber, which is of its classic set. And of course cast size stays the same since it's ender. But the altar transmutation altar also has one other use, and that is using a block of diamond as a catalyst and a nether star in between. And you see chaos created is going to be very high. I'm going to keep an eye on this. You see how much chaos is being created in the world right now? Yeah, that is absolutely insane. It's over 1 million now. It's going down by 2,000, thankfully. And also these perfect chaos orbs are taking some of the brunt of that as well. Luckily I had them, or else I'd be well over 1 million chaos, and the amount of crazy stuff that would happen in the world would be it would be pretty significant. But anyway, I have these nether star shards, and the nether star shards only have one use in Silent Gems by itself, and we're going to go over that use very shortly. But in Silent Gear, they do have another use, and we'll go over that in the Silent Gear mod spotlight. For now, though, we're going back to the token enchanter, and I'm going to take this amber out because the first, here we go, the first enchantment token that we are going to create is going to require the use of this nether star shard. So, with blank tokens, and as a refresher on how those are made, it's just gold, chaos crystals, and lapis, and you get 12 of them. But putting in the amber and putting in the nether star shards will create me my very first enchantment token, and that is gravity. Gravity is probably the most useful enchantment token added by Silence Gems. As an aside, I'm just going to type in enchantment tokens here. So all of these enchantment tokens displayed right here are added by Minecraft, and there are a total of 5 of them added by Silence Gems, and those 5 are right here. I'll go over them in due course. But gravity. Gravity is the most useful one, because if I apply gravity to, say, this diamond pickaxe, then that means that even if I was utilizing creative flight, in creative flight you mine slower when you're in the air, gravity nullifies that. The max level is 3. If I have gravity 3 on one of my pickaxes or my axe or what have you, then I am no longer limited by how fast I can mine when I'm utilizing creative flight. It's amazing. So yeah, that is gravity. I'm going to make one more, which means I'm going to need a little bit more amber. Let's see here. 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'm going to add these 4 and these 2 to make 2 more of the enchantment tokens for gravity. 1 and 2. Come on, baby. There we are. Alright, so in order to apply the enchantment tokens, you just do it in a crafting table. It's not done in an anvil, it is a crafting table. So I have gravity 1 on it right now. But that doesn't mean that I can't apply the other ones in the same way. Unfortunately, what that means is gravity, 1, 2, 3, and another axe. But that doesn't mean that if I use all 3 enchantment tokens, I'm going to get gravity 3. It's only going to use one of them, and you just have to use all of them at the same time, like that. So yeah, I have gravity 3 now. If I was utilizing some sort of mod that gave me creative flight, Silence Gems is not one of them anymore. When we go over to the Chaos Gems, I'll bring that up again. But yeah, if I was utilizing a mod with creative flight, then I would no longer be affected because I have gravity 3. And all it takes is defeating the Wither once, and you can put it on all of your normal tools. So that's very handy. The next one that we're going to go over, boom, is Ice Aspect. And Ice Aspect is 8 pieces of ice and 2 opals. When you put in that and those, you're going to make an Ice Aspect. And this works exactly the same as Fire Aspect, the vanilla enchantment. Only, yeah, it slows down and continuously damages instead of burns and continuously damages. So, yeah, there's that. The next one, oop, is Lifesteal. And Lifesteal is done with golden apples and morganite. Put in my morganite, put in my golden apples, and it will create the Lifesteal for me. Lifesteal, just like the description says, heals the user for a small portion of the damage dealt. This enchantment also works in PvP, so it's very handy in PvP situations. However, the golden apples used to craft it, they cannot be enchanted golden apples. They have to be the normal golden apples. So, if you don't have the gold available, but you happen to have found some enchanted golden apples in a mine shaft or whatever, those will not work. And yeah, that is Lifesteal. The next one, right here, is Lightning Aspect. Same with fire and ice. This weakens and continuously damages the victim. So weakens just means it's not going to be able to do as much damage to me, and the way that that is created is with Glowstone and Heliodor. Bam. And bam. I cannot shift-click these into the interface. Unfortunately, you have to manually place them in right now. Yeah, that is Lightning Aspect. And then the last one cannot actually be crafted by me. And that is because this only exists if Silent Gear is in the pack, Supercharged. So, yeah, Supercharged does not have... Oh. Supercharged does not have a recipe to it. If I had Silent Gear in the pack, then this recipe would become available to me. But as it stands right now, it's useless. All it does is it powers up Silent Gear level weapons. And more on that when I do the Silent Gear mod spotlight. But yeah, those are the 5 enchantment tokens. Unique. Enchantment. Unique to Silence Gems and Minecraft. Another really cool aspect, if you'll give me a moment. Here we go. So I've added Cyclic to the pack, and as you can see, there is now an enchantment token for enchantments added by Cyclic, mainly experience boost. There is no recipe for it, and there will never be a recipe for it. However, if you want to add them to like a loot bag or something, or you want to use Craft Tweaker to add your own recipe, you absolutely can. But depending on the mod that is installed, and I have yet to find a mod that this doesn't work with, but an enchantment token will be added for every enchantment that is in your pack. Yeah, and here's another Cyclic one, Life Leech, which works just the same as Lifesteal. There we go. But yeah, as you add more mods to the pack, enchantment tokens will be created for that mod. And yeah, that's just a really cool feature that I really like. So yeah, that is how the enchantment tokens work. I'm still not done with enchantments yet. Let's go game mode creative, because I want to go over that enchantment tokens, as you saw earlier, are added via a crafting table. But if I obviously this has already been enchanted, so it's not going to work. But let me give myself another axe. Here we go, another axe, and I'm going to add Fortune 2 to it via, oh, Experience Boost 1. So a cyclic enchantment has been added. But if I go over to an anvil and I try to add a enchanted book to it, what the heck? It's an axe, so we'll add sharpness to it. So yeah, that works. I just added sharpness to it in the anvil, same as normal. This is nothing new in vanilla. But even though that has happened, I can still take ice aspect. Oh wow, this is the first time this has ever happened. Oh, ice aspect is only a sword. My mistake. But yeah, I can still add the tokens to it, and I can continuously enchant it. Enchanting tokens don't have a limit on what you can add. So even if I have completely run out of enchantment points on this axe, it doesn't matter. Enchantment tokens will still work on it. And yeah, this diamond sword for sharpness. That being said, now that I have ice aspect on this, lightning aspect will not attach. The same with fire aspect. None of the aspects can coexist on one weapon, so that is an exception to that rule. But yeah, enchantment tokens, so long as they don't interfere with one each other, like fortune and silk touch, you can add them. It's a very handy feature, and that is how enchantment tokens work. The last thing that I want to say about enchantment tokens is depending on what enchantment you want, like Infinity. Infinity requires 6 Eyes of Ender and 64 arrows. That's actually rather expensive. Maybe not in typical modded, but yeah, that's rather expensive because Infinity is an amazing enchantment. Furthermore, Mystery Goo, Black Diamond, and Nether Star. Mystery Goo is added by Silence, and its only use is for mending. So this is the most expensive enchantment token you'll ever have. You do need to defeat a Wither in order to get it, and the Mystery Goo is super simple to create. It's just kelp, mossy cobblestone, and an apple, and you'll get the Mystery Goo. 2 of them, and a black diamond, doot and dupe, as well as the blank token, will give you the mending. And this one is actually moderate plus plus because it's so rare. Almost all of the enchantment tokens only give a moderate amount of chaos, but this is moderate plus plus in order to get the mending token. And yeah, that's all I'm really going to say about enchanting tokens. Let's move on to the next thing that the token enchanter can do. The next thing that the token enchanter can be used for is it can actually give you spawn eggs. So if you give it an egg, 4 of any type of soul gem, and 4 enriched chaos crystals, then it will give you that spawn egg. So as you can see, I just put the cow soul gems in there because I want to run a little experiment. There we go. I have my cow spawn egg, and actually, you know what? Yeah, I didn't think so. All right, so these are wither soul gems. I wanted to see whether or not I could get a wither egg. Evidently, I cannot. But I have gone out and searched for a spawner, and here we go. We have a skeleton spawner. Using this cow spawn egg, and make sure that there aren't any... Yeah, there are enemies around, but that's fine. Just gonna block this area off. There we go. Alright, so using this cow spawn egg, I'm going to right-click this spawner, and now it is a cow spawner. So, let's get rid of these lights, and see whether or not cows will repeatedly spawn. I know in the past... There we go. I know in the past, whenever you've used a spawn egg on a spawner, then, oh yeah, look at that. It's not actually working properly. Otherwise, there'd be like little flames in there. So, dang, that experiment did not work. But it was a nice experiment, and it was worth a try. So yeah, your spawn eggs are just so you can spawn an extra one of whatever the heck you need. It does require the 4 soul gems, and that is unfortunate, because soul gems are... they're semi-rare. But, yeah, that's the way it is. Let's go back to the plains and go over the last and most important thing that the token enchanter can do for us. The last and most unique aspect of Silence gems are the Chaos gems. And the reason why they're unique, and I'm going to need... Yep, that's exactly what I need. So, if you put in a block of a certain gem and 10 enriched chaos, then it's going to create quite a bit of... Oh wow, that's a lot of chaos being added to the world, but that's perfectly fine. After this gets made, I'm going to have a chaos gem made. And what chaos gems are used? They're essentially reusable. Look at that. They're essentially reusable potion effects. So over here are the 15 chaos runes added by the mod. And there used to be more, but yeah, that doesn't seem to be the case. You used to have a creative flight, an actual flight rune, and yeah, it was absolutely amazing. But that seems to have been removed. I don't know if it's going to be added again in the future, but as it stands right now, I do not have a way to get creative flight inside of Silence Gems by itself. I'm also going to make a U class. There we go. Making me a lot of chaos. But yeah, I'm also going to make a U class chaos gem, just so I can start making up the runes and then showing you how the runes work. Now, in order to make the chaos runes, first you need to make the rune slates, which are made with stone, enriched chaos crystal, and silver. This is the primary reason why silver is available in Silent Gems without Silent Mechanism. So yeah, this is what silver is for. Also, it doesn't have to be all stone. You can also have diorite in there. You can also have any mixture of diorite, andesite, granite, stone. Doesn't really matter, and you will still make the rune slates. So now that I have the rune slates here, depending on the item that I add to them, so 24 feathers will make me a slow falling chaos rune. I'll have grounded, and grounded is added by Silence Gems. I'll go over that in more detail in just a second. But invisibility, insulated, also another thing added by Silence. Yeah, a whole bunch of potion effects that I can add to one of my chaos gems. So I'm going to create some of the runes right now using Lightning Wisp Essence and Ice Wisp Essence. So the Lightning Wisp Essence, and as I mentioned in the last episode, the wisps will spawn when chaos is at a certain point in the world. And so yeah, I have grounded, and using the Ice Wisp Essence, I'll get insulated. Oh, why isn't insulated working? Oh, because I need 4 of them. There we go. Alright, insulated. Using 4 fermented spider eyes, I'm going to get invisibility. And as you can see, it's all adding a moderate plus amount to the world. Using golden carrots, and only 3 of them. Only 3 golden carrots will give me night vision. 2 eyes of ender. Oh, let's get rid of you. Will give me levitation, and actually I did not know that it could do this, but let's add that golden carrot again, and then add the heart of the sea. Oh yeah, it just finds the item that it can use? Oh, that's so cool. It'll just find the item that it can use and make one. But anyway, the Heart of the Sea gives me Dolphin's Grace. And Dolphin's Grace is interesting because this is a situational effect that a player can have. And now you can just have it. And then the blocks of iron, I'm going to add 2 of them, will make me resistance runes. I already made 2 of them before I started recording, but I just want to show off one of the aspects of this. So if you look at all of the details of the chaos runes, you'll see a max level, slots used, and chaos created whenever it is active. So with grounded, the max level is 1, and chaos created active is moderate, but something that can be stacked, such as resistance, which max level 2, chaos created when it's active is moderate. That's not necessarily true. The chaos created whenever it's acted and is only level 1 will actually be small. And then if I have 2 resistance on if I have 2 resistance on one of my chaos gems, then it will become moderate. So that chaos created active, it only applies to whenever it is at its max level. And yeah, that's all I'm going to say about that. So I'm going to, using my chaos Euclase, I'm going to add levitation. And you see that I am now going to be using 5 of the 20 slots on my chaos gem. Chaos created is going to be small plus, and chaos created when it's at its max level, and levitation is only levitation can be level 4. But yeah, chaos created at its max is going to be small plus. So no matter what, I will be at small plus. Here we go. So I have levitation on there right now. I'm also going to add Dolphin's Grace. Now I'll have 10 of 20, and Night Vision, which is only going to use 2 slots. So now I have a total of 12 plus. So chaos created at its max is going to be moderate at this point with the amount of runes that I have. And you'll see that now I am levitating. I have all of these, and they are constantly active. Just because I have levitation, let's go into survival mode. Just because I have levitation does not mean that I am immune to fall damage, so be careful with that. Like I said, you used to have creative flight in silence, but now it has been replaced with levitation, and yeah, it's far inferior. But with stuff that has max slots, such as resistance, so slots used 12 for 1 rune of resistance. You see that slots used are 12 for resistance 1. That 12 is constant, and it is not additive. So I will, even though there are 20 slots available for use, if I wanted 2 resistance slots on there, it's not like it's going to become 24. It's still only using 12. So now I have resistance 2 on this Chaos Carnelian, and whenever it is activated, I now have resistance 2 constantly activated at the expense of adding chaos to the world. And luckily, because I'm close to these orbs right now, because I'm close to the orbs, it's not creating as much as it could be creating. I'm going to turn this off now. There we go. And I don't have to worry about it in place of these orbs, but if you're out in the world just doing stuff and you're like, oh no, I need resistance right now, well, activate your Chaos Carnelian. Activate whatever Chaos Gem you choose to use. And any of these runes will do. You just have to be careful about how much chaos you're adding to the world, and if you, whether or not you have multiple purifiers running, or yeah, it's all about chaos management. But that is how the runes work. So I've been playing around a little bit, and yeah, I have mining fatigue, hunger, a thunderstorm just started, and yeah, I just got rid of. That is so awesome. And I just got rid of some of the chaos slimes. So I have messed with the chaos quite a bit in this world, and it is chaotic indeed. So yeah, chaos sickness, hunger, and mining fatigue all at the same time. If you don't have a bucket of milk handy, and you're abusing the chaos stuff, yeah, you're sunk. But this chaos garnet that I'm messing with right now is actually a lot of fun. I have levitation 4 on it and slow falling. I know it seems kind of counterintuitive, but it's still remarkably fun. So if I have a very high fall, hit it right before impact, and bam, you've essentially just negated all of your fall damage. You know what? I'm going to mess around a little bit more and just add levitation 4 without any of the other extraneous stuff on it. So let's see here. Levitation 1, 2, 3, 4. And what the heck, I'm going to give myself another slow falling as well. I'm essentially done with this episode, and at this point, I'm just messing around. Chaos. Yeah, let's have Benoit and Iolite. So Iolite is going to have the 4 levels of levitation on it. I also noticed another weird thing. So it is 5 by itself, but every level of levitation I add is giving me 1 more. But it stops at 7. So yeah, that's really weird that it added a couple levels depending on the level of levitation. It didn't do that with resistance. So resistance, it's 12. Adding another one is still 12. It didn't go up to 13. I don't know why that is. Yeah, I don't know why that is at all. But I suppose it really doesn't matter. Just pay attention to how many slots you're using whenever you update. But yeah, Chaos Iolite, and then the slow falling. Here we go. I'm going to activate slow falling. And we're going to go away from here. Alright. Slow fall is now activated. Levitation 4 is now activated. Survival, deactivate. Oh yeah, that's wonderful. Oh, this is so much fun. Okay. I'm going to stop this thunderstorm real quick because, wow, that is noisy. But yeah, absolutely. They're by no means expensive. I mean, none of the runes are terribly expensive. Looking at them all, yeah, just getting the wisps are the hardest part. Did I ever explain what the insulating and grounding do? Well, alright, so just as the enchantment tokens have lightning aspect and ice aspect, if you have the grounded on your chaos rune, that means that lightning aspect does not affect you anymore. The insulating does the same thing with ice aspect, so it just doesn't affect you and it cancels them out. So if you are in PvP and somebody has a weapon with ice or lightning aspect on it, just make a chaos rune that has insulating or grounding. And yeah, that is what those chaos runes do. But yeah, none of these materials are hard to come by. Oh, pardon me, hiccup. 4 gas tiers for regeneration may be a little much. You need 8 in order to have regeneration 2. But yeah, that's whatever. Regeneration 2 is probably the most useful for out and about in the world. Strength, Dolphin's Grace, Water Breathing, Jump Boost. For those of you who are not familiar with what Dolphin's Grace does because you're stuck playing 1.12, Dolphin's Grace just makes you swim faster. It's situational in that it only happens whenever dolphins are around. So if you are swimming and there are dolphins around, then you will have Dolphin's Grace. Using the Dolphin's Grace Chaos Rune just means that you can have it regardless if dolphins are around. But yeah, those are all of the Chaos Runes, and that is Silence Gems. I take that back. We have yet to go over one thing, and that is the teleporters. So the teleporters, I'm ashamed to say that I forgot to do those. I was so engrossed in the Chaos Gems. But the teleporters are made as such. Just one block in the center, some enriched Chaos Crystals in the corners, and then some Ender Crystals up here at the top. And you're going to make 2 of them. Now what I'm going to do here is I'm actually going to make a set of them right here, and I'm going to turn this Carnelian teleporter into a redstone variant. So just one piece of redstone dust and bam, it becomes Carnelian teleporter redstone version. It's difficult to tell just looking at these. I believe if you turn on advanced, let's see here, advanced tooltip shown. Yep, okay, so in the actual metadata of it, it does call it a redstone teleporter, but we'll get into what that actually does a little bit later. So, using 1 enriched chaos crystal and 2 gold ingots, you're going to get some ornate gold rods. You're going to get 4 of them. Put that with another enriched chaos crystal, and you're going to get a teleporter linker. This is very important in order to actually use the teleporter system. So I'm going to place a teleporter right here. Place a teleporter right down here. I'm in creative mode, so that's perfectly fine. And with the teleporter linker, I'm going to right click, and as I move away from that teleporter, you see down there with the blue, that's how far I am from my base teleporter. But right click again, and now these teleporters are linked, and whenever I right click them, I'm going to teleport right to them. And I can be any distance away, just so long as I am far enough away that I can click it, I can teleport. So that is how the teleporters work. The reason why I made another set is because I'm going to destroy this one and place down the sapphire teleporter. Unless you specifically designate it in the configuration files, it doesn't matter whether or not you have 2 different types, so long as they are linked with the teleporter linker, which doesn't have durability, by the way. You can't... Oh, son of a gun. See, that's actually that's a good talking point right here. Even though I have used the teleporter linker once again to reactivate them, it hasn't reset the fact that I can use it as a teleporter. So yeah. Now these teleporters are linked together. But yeah, the teleporter linker doesn't have durability. It doesn't matter what color the teleporter is. You can use it together. Now, the redstone teleporter. I'm going to put down this redstone teleporter right here, and I'm going to link them together. Boom. And I'm going to give myself, I don't know, a pressure plate. Pressure plate. Now, a pressure plate next to a redstone teleporter means that once you step on it, you're going to teleport over. You're going to teleport right on top of it. So yeah, they're redstone controlled whenever it is a redstone teleporter. And you can hook up any sort of contraption. It doesn't, of course, have to be as simple as a pressure plate. But once you step on it, you'll teleport. The direction that you are facing whenever you do teleport is the direction you're going to be facing whenever you complete the teleport. So I just hit that on the north side, and I teleported facing north. And really, that is the teleporters in a nutshell. Very handy. You just have to be able to have gone to the end first and collected that ender crystal in order to use them. And finally, I'm going to take 3 golden string, a gem of any type, chaos crystals, an ender pearl, and putting those together in a crafting grid. The opal, 2 chaos crystals, and an ender pearl is going to get you a return home charm. So the return home charm means that you can right click any teleporter, so that is now bound to teleporter, and any distance away, all I have to do is just right click this. See, now that it's glowing like it's enchanted, release it, and you're going to teleport to whatever your home teleporter is. You can have as many home charms as you want, linked to as many teleporters as you want, and yeah, it'll always go back to the home teleporter. The reason why I have the chaos meter in my hand again is because using the teleporters does not increase the chaos in the world. You would think it does, but it doesn't. So right now it is just steadily increasing by 10. Yeah, it didn't increase at all. Boom. So yeah, this doesn't increase the chaos at all. Also, when you're using the teleporter linker, that distance is going to remain blue until you get to 64. And then it turns yellow. I do not know the significance of this. I have gone all the way over to, I've gone all the way 1,500 to 1,600 blocks away. And yeah, it never changes another color. It doesn't inhibit the use of the teleporter whatsoever. There we go, that's now linked. And even though it is quite a ways away, I can still link back home. It knows where its home teleporter is. I also tried this in survival mode. And yeah, it works just the same. So it's not something that's unique to creative. And once again, my chaos is not increasing despite the very large distance between these 2 teleporters. But yeah, that is the teleportation system. Very handy, very fun, and I actually I'm thinking of quite a few ways that I can use this in a survival world to great effect. But yeah, that is the teleporter system, and now there are still a couple of things that can be covered, mainly the supercharger and the charging agents, but I'm going to go over that in Silent Gear because those things rely on Silent Gear being installed. So, I am Kelly Engineering. I hope that you enjoyed this mod spotlight, and I'll see you whenever an update for it comes out, and I'll put out an update video. Bye-bye.